Hi, thanks for tuning in to a quick update on my philosophy about why I don't put muscles ahead of the rest of the body or the mind. So, this is Better Results Personal Training, Doug Bates here. It is already May of 2022, the 28th, and so this is fairly new. I want to start off by saying that, first of all, most people think they're going to build their bicep by doing a bicep exercise. The problem with that is they forget about the fact you have to stabilize the biceps in order to isolate the biceps. And you have to avoid injury when you train the biceps. That means not to the low back, not to the neck, not to the shoulder, etc., etc. That means all those other muscles have to be working for you not to injure yourself to even pick up the weight and train the biceps, along with your willpower and your drive. You're able to get some sleep, get up in the morning, digest your food, etc., etc. Get in the gym and feel good about yourself. That all predates and precedes bicep training. So bicep training, again, is still only going to work if you can have an immune response, an digestive response, and a hormonal response to build the biceps after you train them. That requires a thyroid, testosterone, growth hormone, proper neurotransmitters in the brain, the chemicals that run the brain and the mood, and the chemicals for motivation and feeling balance and peace and joy when you train. So neurotransmitters involved. You have to have that proper sleep again. That's the melatonin at night. Then you have to also concern yourself with the fact that on top of that, if you're training your biceps, you don't know when to quit. You'll overtrain them or undertrain them. That's balance in the endocrine system with mind-body connection. That's the vagus nerve. That's the diaphragm. So you're breathing properly when you train. If your brainstem is out or your connection to your vagus nerve is out, which runs to all the organs and glands from the brain, 10th cranial nerve, except for the adrenals. If you don't have the vagus nerve working, you will not win the battle of proper bicep training. Most people's vagus nerve is already hypofunctioning. They're called low vagal tone. That's why my speaking and my facial expressions are very dynamic. You'll find a lot of enunciation, a lot of movement in my face or in my hands, because high vagal tone causes the person to be more demonstrative and more variant in their tone when they're speaking. That's high vagal tone. So then we'll also add in the fact that I have to also understand how the basic anatomy works, to not only train the bicep, but to stabilize the bicep, to pick the bar up, to know how much to load the bar. Those are all intelligences that must be met by having a balanced nervous system and balanced neurotransmitters that require the proper amount of norepinephrine for alertness, the proper amount of serotonin for joy and peace without feeling too much anxiety or drive or unhappiness, proper amount of GABA for being calm, right? Proper amount of oxytocin for feeling, I guess you could say, a sense of euphoria when you train, right? Along with the endorphins that you get, which are norepinephrine and epinephrine. So all of these things play into it, and they're base things. They're into gut microbiome health and brain health and the blood-brain barrier and proper lymphatics, which is the lymphatics for the brain. The body has lymphatics as well, and if you're not breathing right, you're not going to get good lymphatics for the brain. So all those things play into it, plus mitochondrial health. Are you toxic? Are your mitochondria being fed? Those are things that create ATP for the system, that you have enough energy to train. And your muscles all have to have ATP generated by the mitochondria in your muscle cells, plus your brain cells require mitochondria. So imagine if you're glyphosate poisoned, or imagine if you're poisoned by a perfume that you're wearing, or cologne, or off-gassing of rubber weights or synthetics around you, or you have food poisoning. By that I mean just the chemicals in food alone. I don't mean food poisoning like bacteria. That's another one. So you have to be concerned with the quality of food, eating organic, eating clean food, raw food when possible, properly sourced food, proper digestion, proper balance of macronutrients, micronutrients, the minerals in your food and coming from your diet or supplements must be adequate to allow for proper zinc, selenium, molybdenum, and things like that that permit proper stabilization of the spine, proper chemical formation of your enzymes. Enzymes are very important for any activity in the body. And so enzymatic pathways require zinc, manganese, okay? Magnesium at high levels. You have to make sure your magnesium levels are adequate. Calcium, of course, right? Phosphorus, of course. Potassium, of course. So you have to make sure all these things are working for you, and then you can be concerned with bicep building. If you try to put your biceps ahead of all that, you'll go nowhere. So that's the short video. I hope it works really well for you. I'll put it on YouTube, and I will try and get it on my page so that discussion will be clear to you, and you can go through the other sections of my page where it talks about the spinal health, or it talks about brain health or spirit health, flexibility, talks about things like posture. Posture is very important. Of course, proper vegan diet, plant-based diet. If you can't do straight vegan, go as plant-based as you can. Organic all the time. Fair amount of raw food. Okay? Cooking, some things need to be cooked, yes. And so proper diet, proper learning, and empower yourself. Find an empowerment coach. That's what I specialize in. Looking for you, contact me. Better Results Personal Training. Again, Doug Bates. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Delaware Avenue in the Bayview neighborhood. 3 blocks from the lake. Hope you'll contact me, reach out, and enjoy checking through my page. Take care now. Bye-bye.